Hi, everybody. I'm just letting people get logged on, so bear with us really quickly. And if anybody has a question, ask it. I'm just letting people in our room, so bear with me. And I don't have my tripod today, so I'm sorry. I forgot it. Get it all straightened out soon, I promise. I promise. So still letting people get logged in. Can you guys hear me okay? Somebody put something in the chat. Let me know that you can hear me all right. Okay, good. Thank you, Anna. All right, so I'll go ahead and get started. I know I was late today. I'm sorry, I took a phone call. You know how that goes, right? So just want to keep you guys in the know of what's going on. We are seeing a lot more assistance from the governmental programs through the state and through the county as well. So if you haven't applied, go get your money. If you applied previously to September and you haven't heard anything, you probably fell through the cracks. We don't want that. So go ahead and reapply and watch those applications. If you get that thing saying that the tenant isn't complying and it says that the tenant's not responding, that is probably a good indication that you're going to be able to proceed with an eviction right away. So with that being said, keep that in mind. We definitely want to make sure that we're utilizing our resources to the best of our abilities. Apply for that money. Apply for the money. Am I on mute? You can't hear me? I picked it up. Maybe you can hear me better. I don't know. Mute David. Okay, let me see if I can find that. I'm working on it. Okay. I think I fixed it. Did I fix it? Give me a thumbs up.
I know Mike and Cynthia took phones with them, and I don't know what they have.
All right. So if our tenant owes us rent money, you guys start filing those evictions for non-payment of rent. Where you have to do the 3-day on the transitional notice, and then you can go ahead and apply for the government funds, wait 20 days and start the eviction. So we're starting to see a lot of things come through legal now, where tenants are being a little bit more creative. If the landlord didn't apply and only the tenant applies, then what the government's doing is issuing the tenant that 25%. Some of the tenants that receive that 25% are now trying to negotiate with the landlord to settle for half the money. Be mindful of that. Be careful of that. Misappropriation of federal funds could land somebody in handcuffs. So we don't want to do anything that's going to harm us. If there's going to be any of that kind of activity going on, we want that to hit the tenant, not us. So with that being said, go. It's time. We're seeing a huge influx of non-payment of rent cases due to tenants that may be manipulating the system, using it to their advantage, using COVID to come up, if you will. So you may want to take advantage of that situation and start legal as soon as possible on a non-payment, especially if it's for October or November's rent. We can evict right now for non-payment of rent for the month of October and also for November. The caveat is that the tenant does have to apply, or I'm sorry, the landlord has to apply for those government funds, wait 20 days, and then they're able to actually file the legal action. So we want to get the ball rolling so that we all get paid. We can't keep bleeding this money. It's ludicrous. Does anybody have anything in particular that they want to talk about or discuss today? I'm still letting people in, so just bear with me. We applied, but application is stuck in reviewer, approved for payment. How long do you wait? So it is approved for payment, which means you're at the last step in the process. Now you have to hurry up and wait. I would say if you don't get payment within 30 days of seeing that notice saying that it's approved waiting payment, then I would call the worker and ask them when they anticipate payment to be made. When they anticipate payment to be rendered, because we can't keep bleeding, you guys. They tell me they don't know. Of course they don't. Technically and legally, in the event you are, and I'm sorry, I'm bouncing all over the place, you guys, today. I forgot my tripod. So I'm holding my phone. I'm sorry. I'm human. So I get it. The state doesn't know. Here's the reality of what you're telling me. Okay. And just hear me out. You could file an eviction, but as soon as you receive payment, the eviction is voided. So you kind of waste the money. I would give them a good 45 days. And if you still haven't been paid yet, then I might consider going the eviction route. But I'd wait a good 45 days at least before I went that direction. You got to remember, the government's never in a hurry to do anything, especially dish out money. Okay. So some of us have been affected tremendously by this. And we're waiting patiently and impatiently, if you will. But that's what we need to do right now, is hurry up and wait. As long as it says pending payment approved, you're good. You're at the stage of hurry up and wait. I'm sorry. Hang in there. But like I said, it's a risk. You could start the legal process. You could start an eviction, but as soon as you receive that check, the eviction's void. So now that money's wasted. You see what I mean? So you're kind of in this little caveat of a mess. So think about that. I noticed if you tell them they are, hold on, I got to open that to read the rest of it. They are about to be evicted. They seem to process faster. Okay, so let them know. And that's a great point, is call that worker up and say, hey, 20 days have elapsed. I can't wait any longer. We're going to go ahead and proceed with legal. Tell that to the worker on the phone. Maybe they can hurry things along a little faster. We all need that money. We want to get paid. We also need to be not mindful. We'll probably have some new laws hit us come January, not necessarily COVID related. It's just every January we tend to get the new laws, the new rules, things along that nature. So I'm just trying to tell you, be careful and make sure that you're looking out for those, because we want to make sure that we are in compliance with those new laws that usually come out in January. And I know it's California, the laws change when the wind blows. But statistically in January, starting on the 1st, we do see a change in residential rental housing with the laws. So we want to make sure that we stay up current on those so that we're not surprised or blindsided. So come January, we'll be talking about the whole new list of new laws that are affecting us, and we'll go from there. April, do you have a money update for us? You have to unmute yourself. And if you can't unmute yourself, tell me you can't unmute yourself and I'll try to do it. And she could be on the phone, you guys. And if you're just joining us, April is very active involving the payment of the money from the state, the county, and so on and so forth. So she stays very current with what's going on with those funds, and is a great resource for us in telling us what we're seeing in the program, how long to anticipate payout, what we need to be watching for. And her biggest tip that she could tell you guys is watch your spam or your junk mail. A lot of times when that program emails you back, it goes into your spam or your junk. So for all of those, of us that are currently right now in this second checking our junk mail, thank you, April, for that little tip and trick. We need all the help we can get. She must be on the, oh, there she is. What you got for me, girl?
Everything's pretty much the same. I just want to know if anybody else has questions.
Anybody have any questions about the government money, the rental assistance money? April is our guru.
Yes, April. Sometimes we call, leave a message, but they never return your call, and they just sit and wait, and we don't hear from them. What would you do in that case? We know who the caseworker is. We know who the tenant is, but they're not returning your call at all. So what do you do?
Okay, so I've run into the same situation, and I've already learned from one of the representatives that you will never ever speak to a caseworker directly. So any messages that you need to relay, the representative that answers the phone will send them an email on your behalf, and they will get back to you via email. The other thing you can do is the email you receive from the rent relief program, the worker's email is listed in that body of email. You can email them directly yourself. So it's really important that you save those emails, either, I don't know, start a folder, a COVID folder, save those emails. And when you need to email the worker directly, just email them directly. Don't even call, because you're going to be on hold forever, and they're just going to tell you can't talk to the caseworker.
Okay, also, you've had experience working with United Way SoCal 211?
No, I haven't.
Well, a lot of my tenants going through that. This is in San Bernardino, and they seem to be responding, but very slowly.
Okay, for what city is that?
It's called United Way SoCal 211.
It's San Bernardino.
San Bernardino, okay. No, I haven't worked with that program.
They're all
Fortunately.
slow, just so you know, they're all slow. It's
Yeah.
the government. Come on, the only thing they do quickly is fine us.
Yes.
It's the government. Come on, they don't do anything quickly except fine us.
It's just, like Patty says, hurry up and wait.
Hurry up. It's the best way to describe it. Hurry up and wait.
They have been doing updates to the website though. So they're trying to make it easier for you to find out what's going on with your application. And then they email you when they want something from you. They do email you a task to do. I would just say, do that right away. As soon as you see it pop up in your email, go onto the website, submit what they need, because that means they're online at that time. And if you submit it, your paperwork will be done at that time. But if you wait 2 or 3 days, that person's not even in that case anymore.
Makes sense.
Mhm.
I mean, the way I see it is they're acting kind of like a property manager managing all these applications and trying to process all these applications. They just must be inundated.
Yeah.
I couldn't even begin to imagine trying to be on a team that was dispersing funds to landlords during this time. What a mess.
Mhm.
But people are getting paid. Don't give up on the system. I know April's collected quite a bit of money thus far. What are we at, April? Do you know?
Today, $128,134.
Any change?
I'm expecting $8 grand more, except I haven't received it yet. It should come in the next 15 days or so.
Nice, nice, nice. And for the most part, it looks like we're getting back to normal. For those of you that are unaware, the Apartment Investors Club and AGLA are doing a trade show in March, I believe. So make sure you keep your eyes open for that. I will be there, just so you know. And I did see another question come through for you, April, in regards to the money. So if you want to answer that, it says, have you gotten future rents?
Yes, for one person, everybody else is pending. So probably about 6,000 for one. I want to say it's about 10 grand pending right now for future rents.
Okay. And then just so you guys know, and help me help you understand this, we have a few landlords that have been paid for rents through January. Yeah, I said it, through January of next year. And then the tenant moves out. So please know that any prepayments of rent, and I did talk to legal counsel about this, so any prepayments of rent would be applied first to any damages to the unit, etc., and then have to be refunded, not to the tenant because the tenant didn't pay it, but to the program that sent you the money. Okay? You got that? So anybody that has somebody that vacates and wants a refund in the prepayment of rent, it doesn't go to them. It goes back to the program that paid you. Okay? Everybody got that? I hope so everybody retained that one. And then just so you guys all know, I am now at the Brennan Law Firm. So I will see you in March at the trade show, I'm sure. I haven't talked to them yet if I'm on stage doing a class, but most likely will be. Thank you. But if you guys need me, you can always call me here too during the week, just so you know. And it helps us. I like it when I'm involved with a law firm because it helps me give you accurate, up-to-date information on what's happening in trial, what challenges tenants are coming up with and facing and throwing at us. And it helps to have legal resource at my fingertips because then I can just help assist you better. So in the event you contact me and I answer the phone, or you contact the law firm and I answer the phone, just know, hi, it's me, I'm over here now. So if you guys need anything, need any evictions, need legal advice, please feel free to call Mike Brennan's law firm. We'd be more than happy to help assist you with whatever your challenges of the day may be. So you guys have that option. What else could I tell you that's going on? I know I'm getting a lot of questions from people about the shots. Here's what I could tell you. The law firm I currently work with, Brennan Law Office, does not handle employment law. Oh, wait, I get a question. So I'm not going to be able to help you with those questions and that type of thing. I do know that Kimball, Tyree, and St. John does do employment law. However, if the management company has ever been represented by the law firm, it would be a conflict of interest. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is don't reach out to the resources you have in housing to get help with this. They're probably not going to help assist you. You're going to have to find an employment attorney that isn't affiliated with doing evictions. The reason I say that is 9 times out of 10, they've already represented the management company at some point or another. Therefore, it would be a conflict of interest for them to take your employment case. And that's just me talking out loud. Why do law firms not say much when I call about eviction? They ask me what I want to do. I called so they could tell me. There's a lot of key factors. David, I'll get to your question in a second. There's a lot of key factors that go on. So what we really want to know is tell me the story. Why do you want to get them out? Because there's so many restrictions and moratoriums right now that really limit us and tie our hands as landlords. It makes it extremely challenging for us to come up with a method, if you will, of the proper way to approach gaining you possession. I mean, that's our goal, is to get you possession of the unit, but we also don't want to set you up for failure. So while you're telling us the story of what's going on, we're thinking about the moratoriums, what we can and can't do. And that's why they want to know the story. If you're in the city of Los Angeles, it makes it extremely challenging to do an eviction right now. Okay. Did you hear me? If you're in the city of Los Angeles, it's extremely challenging. You have to have several police reports to prove a nuisance, okay? In the county of Los Angeles, we have some restrictions, but not as restricted as San Bernardino County, Ventura County. They don't have any protections right now other than the special 3-day notice for tenants that were occupying the premises during the COVID pandemic period. And please let me remind you, if somebody moved in October 1st or after, they do not get this special 3-day notice. That is only for people that occupied the premises during the pandemic. Okay, so if you have somebody new that moves in on October 1st, just saying, and they don't pay the rent in November, it's a regular old 3-day notice. You don't have to apply for the funds from the state and start eviction. They don't have any protections because they weren't in your property during the COVID pandemic. So for any new incoming residents, it's business as usual. So those of us that are holding on to our investment properties, now's the time to put them back on the market. Got me? Hope you're paying attention. Okay, let me see. I saw a couple things come through. I'm worried. Hold on. I said I'd go back to you, David. Here we go. I'm worried that after waiting for 2 or 3 months, they inform you your tenant's not qualified. They can't wait that long to tell you that the tenant's not qualified, and it will say that they're unreachable. I've seen a few things on files. Basically, you screenshot that, send that to your attorney. Your attorney is going to say, that's what I needed. So don't wait 2 or 3 months. Wait 45 days. That's just me talking. Hi, Val. This is most likely a tax question, but the rent is received for tenants. Do I claim the income this year and spread it to 2022, or will I get a 1099 from the state? You will get a 1099 from the state during the year you received the funds. So you're not going to spread it. If they send you all the funds in 2021, you're gonna have to pay the taxes on it for 2021. Okay, most likely. That way I didn't give you advice. They don't even ask me about my situation. It seems like they're watching Netflix while answering the phone. Can I ask you a question, Geraldo? Who are you calling? Understand what I'm saying? Which law firm? You hear me? Okay. Why don't you call the law firm of Mike Brennan's office and talk to us? We'd be more than happy to answer your questions or help assist you, sir. You're saying that they don't ask you about your situation? I'd be more than happy to help you. Call me at the law firm of Mike Brennan's office. I actually have a direct line. You want the number? It's 626, and don't call me right now because I'm doing a webinar. It's 626-495-0719. And if you want me to say that again, I will. But that's how you get me directly at Mike Brennan's office. And do not call me right now. I'm not going to answer. I'm doing a webinar. 626-495-0719, my direct line. Okay. In the tenant application for additional help, one of the questions is, hold on, what is the current rent owed to landlord during COVID? April, I hope you're listening to this. Then the following section shows what month you're requesting help for future rents. It's been 2 months since they applied. There's no change in their portal. If the tenant asks rent relief to update rents owed, should they claim rent all the way to next year? I would claim it all the way to the end of the protected period. Let's see what April says. April, are you still with us?
Yeah.
Can you answer that question, please, from Tony?
I would just claim it all the way. I've been doing that for the research that have been coming my way.
And have you gotten any advanced rent payments thus far?
Just one, and it was up until December. So I'm still waiting for others that they requested all the way till February, but they are approved already. I'm just waiting for payments.
Okay, so, okay, perfect. So how far can she put on there? Can she go all the way to the end of the protected period of March 31st of 2022?
I believe I think it depends. Is she doing the state application? Because the state application only allows you to go to February of 2022.
I know that she's in LA, HDICLA, just because I know her. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah,
Her
yeah.
properties
So
are in the LA area.
yeah, so I would just have her claim all of it, because if the tenant has been delinquent for most of the period, more
They're
than
gonna
likely,
continue to be delinquent. I got
yes,
you.
yes,
So
and not,
it doesn't hurt to ask for money till March of 2022.
yes.
What's
And
the
not
worst
only
thing they're gonna
that,
say now?
they're going to be using the same tax information when they first apply. So all they have to do is resubmit new check stubs if they started a new job. They're going to use that, but most of the tenants that I've been dealing with are just using their 2020 tax information, which automatically will qualify them for the future rents.
Oh, good to know. Good to
Yes.
know. Thank you, April.
That's just a little secret.
Hey, I'll take all the secrets I can get. I like to spread them with our group.
Yes, because honestly, that's all they ask for is your tax information for 2020 or updated check stubs. If your tenant just started working, why would you have them submit a check stub? It's going to be the same. They're going to get approved because their year to date is going to be low anyway. So you might as well, if they qualified with that tax information the first time, just tell them to use their taxes for the recertification process.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you again, April. I
You're
hope that answered all your questions, Tony. Okay, Val has one. Okay, most likely, so I claim all income this year, even though some is for next year. So for 2022, claim less income and lots of income for this year. Here's what I could tell you, Val, okay? The government is gonna 1099 you in the event they choose to do that for these funds, and they'd be a fool not to. For the income made during the month that you receive the income. So if you receive it in January and not in 2021, it's all gonna go on 2022's tax bill. So keep that in mind. It goes by when they pay you. So I wouldn't reallocate those funds just because you're messing with the government. And I know if you get paid this year, that might suck because you have to claim more income this year. And next year it would be less income, obviously, especially if they pay advance rents. But if they're not paying any advance rents and they pay you, you're getting exactly what you should have got. Make sense? Don't overthink it, because the tenant would be paying you this anyway, right? Right? All right, does anybody, I'm gonna try, and I'm gonna take your questions, you guys, but this is gonna be a short meeting because I'm gonna tie my lunch break into this too. Will I be able to evict in April even though I have gotten rent relief? When did you get the rent relief? And in that statement, did it say that you can't terminate tenancy for 6 months without cause? You got paid in June. Okay, so you gotta wait 6 months. July, August, September, October, November, December, January 1st. Okay, unless it's for cause. So you can evict for non-payment, you can evict for a nuisance. You just can't evict because you want your house back or something like that. You have to have cause. Will I be able to evict in April, even though I have gotten rent relief in June? The answer to that is yes, because it's been over 6 months, most likely. I was paid this year, but the statement says for 3 months in 2022. I understand that. And even though you got 3 months for 2022, you received the funds in 2021. Because you received the funds in 2021, they're going to tag you on your taxes for 2021. I mean, if we have a tenant that pays us 6 months of rent in advance, and we send that 6 months of rent to the owner in advance and don't distribute it on a monthly basis, at the end of the year, they're going to be 1099 for the funds that they received, because it's when you receive it. that makes sense. And please, you guys, watch your dispositions of security deposit. Make sure you're not putting any rents due on there from the protected period. It is not allowed. It's actually considered retaliatory on Senate Bill 91. Oh, Tony, what, I lost you. Hold on. I clicked the wrong button. There we go. Rent relief asks tenant for a current rent roll. So as a landlord, my current rent ledger should be updated all the way to future rents, allowing the tenant's portal until March of 2022, even though it's not 2022 yet, or until November 1st, 2021. I would take it all the way through the protected period. Got it? Take it all the way through the protected period. So when they're asking you for a ledger for future rents, take it all the way to March of 2022. Because if they're going to pay you and they're going to pay you all of it, take the money. For a pay or quit notice, do we need to separate the rent delinquent from September 30th and after that? Absolutely. So any rents, and there's a huge breakdown. So you need to know any rents that are owed during the protected period need to be on a 15-day notice. Any rent starting October 1st and forward are on a 3-day notice, which is transitional, if you will, I guess, because it's got a 6-month window until March 31st of next year. That would be 6 months after the pandemic period had ended. So yeah, you have that whole is it 3 periods, Brittany?
Yeah,
There's 3 periods. There's the protected period, the transitional period, the covered period, and the transitional period. Protected, covered, and transitional. So transitional is what we're doing now, which is the 3-day notice with the verbiage on it. And then we have the protected period, which is March through August, the first 6 months of the pandemic. And then we have the, what do they call it? Transitional period. So we have a protected period, a transitional period, and a covered period. They all take different notices. So you need to know that. They all have different verbiage, different dates. Okay. Yes, 3 notices. If they've owed you throughout the pandemic period, it would be 3 notices, 2 different 15 days, because we had 2 different periods during the COVID pandemic that had to be on a 15-day notice. And then the 3-day transitional period would be the last one. So 3 different notices in order for you to go and apply for that government money. And if you don't get paid, run down to the courthouse, run to your legal counsel, come to Mike Brennan's office. We'd be more than happy to help assist you. But get in there. I have a feeling that we're going to see a lot of evictions coming through for non-payment of rent that are actually going to go through because they're not applying for the funds. They're not playing by the rules. And it's about time that we add the upper hand in the situation. It's still a little tricky, but not impossible. Yes, 3 notices, Jay. Anybody have anything else? Otherwise, I'm going to get off of here and eat my lunch. I'm going to give you a countdown to 5. And we are coming up on the holiday weekend. I know next week is the day before Thanksgiving. So I will still do a brief little update and we'll do it next week. And I get it if we don't have a lot of people, I completely and totally understand. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions next week. So I'm not too concerned. To everyone here, curious on what you send tenants for Christmas. And go eat your lunch, Patty. Okay, I'll go eat my lunch. What do we send tenants for Christmas? Don't.
Or are you a landlord?
Don't send your tenant anything for Christmas, okay? Especially you, Val. I'm kidding. Can only imagine what it might be. I'm kidding. But no, don't send your tenant Christmas gifts. Because if you do it now, you're building up a thing that they're going to expect it. So next year, if you don't send them that See's candy, they're going to be disappointed because you didn't think about them. So once you start, oh, then send a card. A card I'm totally fine with. But don't send a gift. Because that year you don't send the gift, then they're going to think you got upset. You could send them a couple lottery tickets. God knows if they win, they're not going to share. But don't do anything crazy, okay? Don't spend more than $10, okay? Oh, Val, you did lottery tickets and then you upgraded to an Albertsons gift card. I'm going to send mine a book on integrity. I was going to say, I'll send mine some elephant poop from the zoo. I'm kidding. Don't get in the habit of repetitively sending them a gift at Christmas time, because if you miss one, they're going to think that they did something wrong and it's going to cause some hiccup in keeping the balance right. So if you want to send them yes, Val, I knew that was coming. If you want to send them a Christmas card, send them a Christmas card. If you want to send them a couple of scratchers or a lottery ticket, go ahead and do that, but don't spend over $5 or $10. You want to keep this very, very simple. Okay. And we don't want to co-sign on a car for a tenant trying to help them. Okay, you guys, we want to keep that balance right. And let me ask you a question, Val. If your tenants send you a gift and it's food, do you eat it? You know, they send you cookies, homemade cake. Do you eat it? I'm curious. Exactly. We don't eat them in the industry either. Sometimes our maintenance staff will take them, but we don't take gifts from clients, especially food, especially. Okay. All right. I'm going to go eat my lunch. If you guys need anything else, please feel free to call me. Hunt me down at the Brennan Law Firm. You can find me there. Be more than happy to help assist you. And we will meet next week. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.